session start, but we can already proceed to start since there's already 11 people here. So without further ado, I'm just going to start with a quick introduction of Johnny. Who is Johnny? So Johnny's from IP88, and he's actually the head of innovative partnerships. So he's had over 20 years experience in all kinds of businesses, e-commerce, F&B, payment, telco, and all that. And of course, sorry. So within the IP88 is of course one of our premium payment gateways in Malaysia, of course also Southeast Asia, but Malaysia predominantly because this is where my audience is from lah. So IP88 is the guys who when you buy from Shopee, they are the one that support the payment gateway for Shopee. If you guys buy insurance or pay for your insurance online, there's a high chance that you're paying via IP88. If you do RFID via your for your car toll, when you pay for your toll, you probably pay via IP88 as well. So that it's the company that does all these things we don't see in front because they are like, they are the B2B at the back. They're the way at the back there. We don't even see them, that type, So IP88 is a very successful business in Malaysia. So as we embark on this webinar series to talk more about digitalization, we realized that there's a huge disconnect for our clients because we always only talk about influencer marketing. We don't share with you guys about the other parts of this ecosystem that's very important. So I'm very, very privileged today because we managed to invite our Tylo here, Johnny, to come and share with us about payment, right? I think payment is the backbone of online at all, right? If you can't even pay online, then how, right? So I think it's a very important element to digitalization, and we're very honored to have him today. So they are actually headquartered in KL Central, very nice office, and they also have offices in Cambodia and Philippines, Indonesia, and like the whole shenanigans lah. They actually also, just a little bit more background, they were acquired or partner or 49% ownership with entity data from
51%
Japan. 51. Okay, sorry.
The owners, majority of 51%.
See, so they have a good partnership with the Japanese entity data, right? So this is the whole summary that I can come up with for IP88 lah. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can see Johnny in larger size. Okay, so Johnny, can you share with us about your journey in payment? How long has it been? What is your history? Why did you get in there?
I think I've been in many industries. Never in one industry where I feel that it's totally exciting. I've been in F&B, I've been in telco. Not that they are not exciting, they're also very exciting, but this is super. This is like super exciting. I've been in building material industry. So I've been with IP for 2 years. I find that this is the forefront of industry where I am able to disrupt businesses. Digital payment is very disruptive. Without digital payment, there's no marketplaces where you shop on marketplaces. You can't buy your air flights online. You can't buy food online. So it's very disruptive. So we are at the forefront of technology, and we are connected to e-commerce. It's very, very exciting. So what we do here is in IPA is that we would like to make payment beautiful for you. So that's
beautiful payment.
We make payment beautiful for you online. We do offline as well, but we are really the Tyco for online in Malaysia. We are the biggest online payment gateway in Malaysia, and we are the pioneer. We started payment gateway in Malaysia, and I think it was 2005 when we started, where it was very slow business. Nobody believed in payment gateway. It was a good to have thing, but now if you say you do business without online payment, I'm going to ask you, where's your business continuity plan? I do not care whether you're the director of the company, you're the CEO of the company. If you say that, my business, I don't do e-commerce, I'm going to ask you, where's your business continuity plan? So
that is so true.
That is so true right now. So 2 years ago, we tell ourselves, hey, we are a payment option. You go online, you sell online as a payment option. Now it's no longer an option. It's
mandatory already.
Yes.
So,
it's very exciting. Payment gateway is very exciting. It's very sexy. I love it here.
when did it become sexy? Like, what was the trigger point that got everybody to go online? When do you think that happened?
I think by saying this, I might be actually reviewing my age. I'm in my 40s. So I do, although I was in other industry, I like to monitor this industry because it was very exciting. When I was in building material in restaurant, remember the days where nobody trusted online payment? It's not safe. You know, I wouldn't want to do it because I don't feel safe with my money. I feel that what triggered people going online to pay was when you buy your flight tickets. When I will not mention the brand, but you all know everyone can fly, right? At that time.
Yes.
But you have to buy online. Then you started to try, okay, I take a little bit of risk, I go online and buy. I can fly cheaper than anyone else. That's when you meet 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times. That's when we feel that people start to appreciate that it's safe to buy air tickets online. That's the start.
Right. So for you, the starting point was actually the flights.
Actually, no, that's where the whole payment of Malaysia online, after the flights, people start to believe. And then the next wave was, remember, you and me used to buy coupons at a discounted rate. I don't like to mention names, but it starts with a G. It sounds like coupon.
Okay.
That was another phase where people believe in going online to buy because you get discounts, you get to buy group buys. That was another phase.
So that trigger is probably because I guess it's so cheap that they're willing to take the risk.
Yes. Then after that, the marketplaces starts to come, and that's where it all start to boom. And I would like to share that the latest COVID-19 MCOs will be the springboard to e-commerce.
It's a next boom lah.
It's already a boom. It's already a boom. The next boom will be we have new payment methods. So the next boom will be e-commerce will be a boom, but you will have variation of payment methods to assist customers to pay easier or even stretch their dollar.
Okay, so before we continue, I would like to also just ask a poll question. I wonder if Putri is here. I would like to just do a poll on how many people that is here right now that actually does have products to sell online. Just so that, we can cater to this webinar better. Do you have a product to sell online? Do let us know and so that we can move forward with better catered answers for you guys lah. So I'll give you guys 3 seconds. 3, 2, no, I'm just kidding. So we will reveal that after the questions that we have. I would like to also ask you a few more questions about payment. So you mentioned that the whole thing started with the flights and then the cheap sale coupons, then the e-commerce, and then now there's of course other kinds of things that's coming in. What about the e-wallets and stuff?
Okay,
are you guys
e-wallets are actually our friends. Part of my job is to manage all the e-wallets. So besides managing Shopee, Zalora, Agoda, I also manage e-wallets like Touch and Go, GrabPay, Boost, Shopee Pay. So this is under my portfolio in IP88. So they are not our competitors, they are our friends. They are payment options.
Okay.
So if you engage us as your payment gateway, those are the options that you already have. Besides credit card, besides online banking, besides FPX and so what debit cards that you have. So you have the new payment options would be the e-wallet. And e-wallet nowadays, I feel that it drives an important role for payment because it moves away from cash. After COVID-19, I think more people would like to use e-wallet to pay because you don't touch cash. Cash to me is
absolutely.
I'm afraid to touch cash. Now I go anywhere, if you do not have e-wallet, I say, how come you're not using e-wallet? I don't carry my wallet, so if you don't have e-wallet, you're gonna miss me as a customer. Now you can actually say that. I actually took my handphone out for a single day without my wallet, and I can survive.
Okay.
That was
so you feel that they are an evolution to payment gateways?
They are part of the evolution, because when it goes through payment gateway, you can use the e-wallets as well. So they are a part of payment evolution. Gateway is just a facilitator.
Okay, and what about credit cards?
Credit cards are very relevant in Malaysia. Last I checked, in circulation is about, I think, credit card in circulation about 10 million, I think. 10 million cards in circulation. But that's cards in circulation. If I ask anyone on the floor how many credit cards you have, I have 3 or 4.
So that means it's still a small chunk of users.
About, I think 3-4 million active card holders. So compared to your Malaysian demographic of 30 over million, 35, let's say. So it's still very little, but it's still very relevant, because people who own credit cards could be those who have a little bit of a financial background for them to own. There could be professional. Credit card is still very relevant. That's where in Malaysia, I find that e-wallets can be very popular, because they serve the non-credit card segments and they compete. And that's where Malaysia credit card does very well. If you understand in Singapore, where it's a totally different payment landscape, their credit cards are so well, it's harder for the e-wallets to penetrate. So in Malaysia, it's a little bit different.
That is true.
That is true. And you look at China, e-wallets are doing so well because the credit card captures very little market. That's where you see a boom in e-wallet.
So where the country is less wealthy, or the larger population is less wealthy, there's more opportunity.
Or more like if the credit card penetration is very high, e-wallets, you find it difficult to go, because you're so attached to your credit card, you won't use e-wallet. For example, if you take European countries, credit card e-wallets are not as popular as Asian countries. If you go to Malaysia or other Asian countries where the credit card is not, I mean, there's not so much credit card in circulation per capita, and you see e-wallets growing so well. In China, they are a rich country, but you don't see a lot of people holding a lot of credit cards. They have one generation gap of credit cards. That's when the e-wallet starts to come in.
Right. So we're piecing this whole thing together. Okay, so we have credit card, we have e-wallet, right? Where does iPay88 come in this whole thing? Where are we?
Friends, or where do we come? We are friends to all this, whether it's credit cards, whether it's debit cards, whether it's e-wallet, everything except cash. We are like your terminal. You engage us. Let's say if you own an online store, you engage us. We are like that to you. You plug in online, and through that terminal, we are able to host credit card payment. We are able to host e-wallet payment, debit banking payment. So they are friends. Those are payment options, and we host them.
Okay, so we set up one time with iPay88. Then we can do, our customers can pay us by credit card, can pay us by e-wallets, can pay us by all forms and means.
Yes.
Right? That's what we're saying, right?
There are 2 ways of doing it, the easy way or the hard way. If you have an online store, the hard way would be you want to connect to each of the banks, each e-wallet, each of the credit card scheme. I assure you the resources needed is not worth it. Or you get a payment gateway like us, we aggregate all the payment options and we give you, voila, a one-stop solution.
Okay, so I just want to end the poll. So do you have products to sell online? So 8 out of 11 people say they do. Well done, guys. I'm glad that you guys are embarking online in this digital journey. I hope that this session will be helpful for you. Right, so we are going to move along with following question that I have. I want to know, like, for example, right, I go and buy fruits from the fruit stall in Klang, So initially, during the MCO, they allow me to transfer touch and go, personal to personal one, just add my phone number, then I can already just transfer money to them. Then how does that, why then will they do a payment gateway if they can just do that automatic transfer situation?
Yes. We do that as well. Now people come to me and ask for ang pao in e-wallets. And we gladly, that's how it started in China, actually, ang pao in e-wallets. So last time, those makcik kiosks, you term that as makcik kiosk, who sells all this, they were even reluctant to transfer. But now during COVID, they have no choice but to allow you to transfer. It's okay if your business is small, if you transfer to your personal account, if you're okay with tax, that's fine. But then if your business is big, then you sharing your handphone to whichever buyer that comes along, it is not very productive. There's when if a Majid Kia, when the business gets bigger, they get a QR code and put in front of the shop, so you can scan on it. It's a faster journey. So that is why if your business is small, it's okay. Just like online, if you're selling things online, if you only have 1 order or 2 or 3 orders a day, it's okay for me to send you a link of my bank account. Now, if you want to send your link as bank account, you can send your link as your e-wallet link to them. They can put 1 or 2 is okay. But when you, let's say you're getting like 500, even 100 orders a day, for you to do that, it's going to be crazy. When people pay you, half 100 orders, let's say 20% were to pay you without telling what they bought. Or then what did you buy with this? So you don't get that. So with a payment gateway, we you don't need to do that. If you're selling things online, you have a shopping cart, but choose in the shopping cart, and then when they click pay, straight it's all automated, and you don't need to bother about it. So it's okay if your business is small, go ahead. But if your business gets bigger, like most e-commerce during MCO, they come to iPay to get a payment gateway.
Okay, what is the minimum criteria to like, you know, when you say big enough that they need to use a payment gateway, right? What is the criteria?
I think there's no such thing as big or small. A lot of e-commerce sites started very small, and during MCO they go. The best I see is 10 times growth. And this is one company that has recently gone listed. So 10 times growth. I cannot mention names. Why? When you have a business account with SSM, that's when that you should feel that you should go for a payment gateway.
Right. So it's like when you have a Sendirian Berhad.
It can be partnership, it can be Sendirian Berhad. As long as the minimum required is that you're recognized by SSM, that's when you can apply for it.
Okay, so it doesn't matter even if I'm a sole proprietor, I can, as long as I'm registered with SSM, I can get a payment gateway.
As long as you're registered with SSM and you're in Malaysian law, that's when we can onboard you.
Okay, so if, for example, I am an offline business, okay, and I'm only considering going online, what is my step? Do I set up the website first, then only message you, or do I set up together, or like, do I talk to you guys directly, or I call my e-commerce provider will link with you directly? Because I mean, I would be somebody that has quite a lot of knowledge in this because I'm in the digital space. But for those who are completely no idea, right? Where do they even get started? And how long before they need to apply? Or what is the timeline? Or like, do they do the website and the website fellow will just recommend you? Or how do they get in touch with you?
If I'm new into e-commerce, I probably want to start off those things which probably take a long time. Getting your payment gateway won't be as long as starting a shopping cart where you put all your pictures. And so I advise you to, prior to making your research product you want to sell, choose a good shopping cart or develop your own, where you develop your store, your shopping carts. While you develop that, you got to get a URL.
Right.
That's your in layman term, that's your in Cantonese called Jiu Pai. That's your brand.
Yes,
that's your signage. So get that. Once you get that, and you feel that your store is probably 50% populated, then you think of return for policy and all this as when you apply again. When you have your URL and your return policy is in place, then you apply for gateway, and we will ask for your URL. We will ask whether you have a payment policy and return policy, and then it gets easier. So
set up website first lah.
Set up website first, because if you have
set up everything gao tim first.
Almost gao tim. Maybe when you're 90%, then you set up payment gateway from us. From us, when you apply from us, depends on what payment options you want. If it's online banking and e-wallets, you can get it within 2 weeks. If it's credit card, you need to take your application and go to the banks to apply. That will take some time. Depends on what bank as well. So I suggest for
okay,
those,
that's good to know. So usually it takes about 2 weeks lah.
2 weeks for credit card and
Okay.
FBX online banking. Credit card can take longer depending on which banking that you do. But in Malaysia, it's okay to start off with online banking and e-wallet, because online banking is about 60%, 60 to 70% of your transaction. Plus the e-wallet, about 10% is probably close to 80% of people will be doing business with you. So then you wait for the credit card.
Okay. Right. I have a question, because now a lot of people are selling on Facebook, you know, they sell on Instagram, right? How can payment gateway empower them? Because they obviously, they are the take picture and then like, oh, kalau nak beli DM me, you know, that kind. Really like, oh, cash on delivery pun boleh, like that. A lot of business, actually I've seen some influencers, they create their own cosmetic brand. And then when you see their story, right, they can sell like, you know, like one truckload of post laju, you know, the black bag, the sampah bag, right, the post laju, they carry 2-3 bags on, you know, of post laju, but then they just like, oh, bank transfer me, you know. How can we help them when they don't have a website?
Okay, if you don't have a website, you're selling through Facebook, we call this as social commerce. There's a term called social commerce.
Okay, social commerce.
It can be WhatsApp, it can be Facebook, it can be YouTube, social commerce. And if you the trick is that through a payment gateway, we need the company to be registered, and it needs to have a page where we can refer. One thing about payment gateway, how we evaluate is that if you have an online site, we know what you're selling. If you're selling YouTube, you can sell this today, you register, you're selling A today, tomorrow you'll be selling a different thing. So it's a little bit of risk for us if you do not own an URL to sell.
Like a website.
Track, like a website.
Right.
So imagine if I register you today without a website, today you sell books, for example, tomorrow you sell drugs, then if IP is being caught, you can lose our license, because we allow you to sell such things. So it is always a little bit sensitive for us to embark those sellers without. But although if you have a shop, then we can track. That's fine. But if it's something that we cannot track, then it's a little bit difficult. Although there are some payment gateways, there are many payment gateways in Malaysia. Please choose one that are reputable, because you don't want to be caught with your money with them and they're not around the next day. So there are some that actually allows link. It's actually a very sensitive thing. So we at IP, we tend to be very careful. So if you want to really do by the book, then you have to set up a website where it can be seen.
Okay.
So that's my advice. But if you're selling on Facebook, if it sells very well, you should be selling your own website already.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because a lot of people are doing this whole like live stream on Facebook, and I'm just wondering, how is the payment ever being done? You know, so they end up resorting to like cash on delivery, or and that's scary as well, because you say cash on delivery, the person don't come how, you know, or like in the instance there's like bank transfer, so that's very inconvenient as well, right? Or like an e-wallet transfer. But aside from that, there is no, you know, there's no easier way where immediately automatically I send you a receipt and then, you know.
There are ways, but then we take it on case basis. If the seller able to justify that it's solid business, they can have a look, but they have a URL, then by all means, then we can help facilitate. We give you a payment link, where you send the payment link over to them.
So it's a case by case basis, like.
Case to case. If it's a reputable company, you just call my number. I get my people to assist you on that. So what we have is a record invoice payment, where if the company is big enough, we give you an invoice link. That means you send them an invoice with a link. So that we can do as well.
Right. Okay. Okay. I have a question from the audience. Hi, Johnny. May I ask what is the main difference between iPay88 to all other like bill, please?
Okay. Besides being a pioneer, IP is a pioneer and the biggest. We have about 50% of e-commerce, active e-commerce with us. In my hands right now, we are really managing things like Shopee, Zalora, Agoda. So choose a payment gateway that is reputable. We have lots of payment options. We have credit card, debit card, and so many. And rates are something that should not be the only thing. You should look at the stability of the company because it is a company that holds you. And we have PCI DSS level 1. A lot of credit cards.
What's that?
PCI DSS level 1, it's a security standardization, something that we need to adhere to, where it allows us to keep credit card numbers for our client. For example, insurance. When you give them a credit card, they don't store it. They give us, we have the capability to store the credit card, but it's so secure that even we can't see it. And then when it's being transacted, they give us a token, and then we just give a token. So we are PCI DSS level 1 compliant, which is recognized by Visa and Master. So you have to really look at the security of the company. And we are 51% owned by entity data. We are not small. So you know that we won't be a fly-by-night company and just go away.
Tomorrow disappear, that won't happen.
No one disappeared. And and we are when there are new payment options, for example, during that time when GrabPay was new, we are the first one to be on board merchants. Now Shopee Pay, we are among the first to onboard merchants. And every time there's a new payment option that comes into town, we'll be the first one to introduce to our partners. And sometimes we even work with the e-wallets to offer promotions to our merchants. Sometimes 5 ringgit cashback and all that. So you work with a big one, you get all these perks that comes along.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, in fact, SushiVit has been with iPay88 since the beginning. So we've been with iPay for the past 5 years.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, just so you guys know, I have a question. Actually, I really want to talk about COVID-19 because it's something that's very relevant. And of course, you guys are like, holding 50% of the sales that's happening online. I want to ask you some, like, no need to disclose who and what lah, right? But more like trends. What do you see insightful for consumers to know? Like, what are the trends that are happening? Of course, everybody say online going up. Everything online is going up. But what kind of products are selling?
Nowadays, everything is online. Those that you might imagine is online. So if you ask me what are the trends, it used to be when you have a place like marketplace, like for example Shopee and Lazada, everything is a trend. But maybe I can share a bit about payment trend.
Yeah, okay.
The next thing. Okay, 2 years ago, I used to talk about e-wallets. Now I talk about e-wallets, nobody will listen because it's such a norm.
Yeah.
Next payment trend will be buy now, pay later. If I do not know whether you're aware, meaning that if you use your credit card or you don't own a credit card, you own a debit card, you can actually defer your payment in a few installments.
Yeah, that's the new one. I saw a company called Pay Later.
Yes, the next few couple of years, you got to have that because I feel that it's coming in. That's the new payment trend that's going to come on board.
How are we securing the money for something like that?
For a merchant, you're okay. You still get back your money. That means you sell a product.
So the bank is securing something. Somebody is underwriting this,
taking the risk off the merchant.
Yeah.
But of course, with a small fee, that means you sell things at 10 ringgit, you probably get back 9.90 or something, 9.80 or something.
Okay.
So they are taking the risk of actually releasing the cash to the merchant, but get the payment for a couple of periods. It can be 3 months, it can be 2 months, it can be 3 to 4 weeks. So
is this something iPay is involved in as well? iPay88?
I can't say, but it's definitely
okay. Sorry.
Trend.
Okay.
This is something which is coming forward.
Yeah, we saw some of these actually recently.
Oh, you're gonna see. You're gonna see so much like how e-wallet's gonna blink in front of you until you cannot, avoid. You want to avoid.
Yeah. So okay, you're saying that now there is this evolution of payment that evolved beyond the e-wallets already.
Yes.
Do you see a consolidation of these e-wallets? Because I'm seeing a lot of like even second, third, fourth tier e-wallets that I don't even have the app. I wonder who has the app. How does this? Are they going to consolidate?
I stopped tracking e-wallets licenses in Malaysia. There are more than 45 non-banks and some banks are close to 50. I forgot how many of them.
Wow.
Like in all capitalism, things expand, find its water level, and consolidate one time. I believe so. I believe so. So I feel that it's survival of the fittest, actually.
Okay, so it's just at the end of the day, who got more funding, give better discount and better cashback.
And when you were talking about what sort of products that I see coming into the I believe fintech products would be a thing coming forward. Fintech products are still what are fintech products? For example, it can be remittance. Digital remittance is you don't need to go and queue anymore. You know, you can do digital remittance. Nowadays, they are a sexy thing like Agoda of insurance. You know, you have you want to renew your car insurance or road tax. Let's say car insurance, you just put your IC number, your car number, and straight away you get like a 10 for you to choose, and you choose the cheapest one or whatever that suits your fancy. You know, things. Digital insurance will be another thing, and digital wealth management. You know, you go online to buy stocks, unit trust. You go online to do a will, digital will that is happening right now. And I think these are the next wave of products which were sort of like, maybe due to compliance, it started a bit late, but this will carry the wave.
So people are getting more savvy. They want to protect themselves better. Of course, with COVID-19, everybody also freak out. Right. So of course, everybody like suddenly need to realize, need to buy insurance, need to buy will, right? Because don't know who survived, right?
You know how we used to buy insurance? We used to go to an agent and take it as it is. Whatever he or she give, hey, this is the best insurance. Maybe the best commission for that person, so we take it. Now you can choose.
Yeah. Right. And you, where can I buy this insurance online? Just Google any.
There are a few what you call them insurtechs around. You can Google them.
Okay, insurtechs lah. Okay, can. So they are for real, legit will survive one now, right?
They are. You need to have a bank negara license to be there.
Okay, can. That's great news to know, because otherwise I'm like, okay, don't know whether
connected to many insurance. They can be connected to AXA. They can be connected.
Okay.
Allianz. So many of these.
Yeah.
They are legit.
Okay. What about the will? I've always been meaning to buy a will online. Because especially as a founder and CEO of my own business, I have to secretly tell my team, you know, like, okay, if anything happened to me, my password is in this drawer in my house, you know. This is legitimately what I told my team, you know. So can you imagine, like, that fear that I have, because like I'm holding the domains and everything, right? So that's also one of the concerns that I have, and if I have to, you know, constantly upkeep a will online, right? I want to know, like, if you, like you mentioned that this is going to be the future. I genuinely agree. Because I don't want to engage a lawyer or somebody to just do my will, and then two weeks later I got a new website.
Yes.
I need to give him new one some more.
In fact, most Malaysians don't own a will. I guess
that's
grossly wrong. I think could be close to 70 or even 80% of Malaysians don't have a will. Reason being, the thing is expensive, the thing is complicated. Expensive, one of them. So when you think it's expensive and complicated, you tend to delay. I want to do a will today, but I'm delaying because leceh. So that's why
we don't think of death so
yes, we don't
much.
Think of death, but
we think of the good news, we don't look at the bad news.
Yes, correct. But
so we delay.
A lot of people, when I ask them, do you own an insurance? Do you own insurance, life insurance? They will probably say, yes, I own life insurance. Do you own a will? No. But isn't will the same thing? You buy insurance to protect your family. If you're not there, you need to.
Exactly.
But you have a house, you don't have a will, it goes to and if there are dispute to the house, it goes to Amanah Rakyat.
That's it lah. Usually forever. It take forever for you to get it back.
Yes. And doing a will in Malaysia, you don't need to stamp. You don't need legally. You don't need to stamp. If people tell you you need a stamp, it's wrong. You can do your will on a piece of tissue paper. As long as I want to leave my will, I want to leave everything to my wife. Get two witnesses to sign, and these two witnesses signing to prove that you are insane at the point of that time. And if anything happens to you, the person who executes the will, take this tissue paper at the court. It can be legal.
Right.
So
but the one now is online lah.
Online. That's why you can do it online. we don't write wills on a piece of tissue paper because we do not know the jargons. So online, we have this, even through iPay, you can vote with us. We have this digital will by one of our partners called Create Wills. It's Sharia compliant.
Wow.
Basically,
wow.
you can calculate our far-right algorithm. You key in your family members, for a Muslim, you key in your family members, and it comes out what sort of percentage you leave to them. So that's and for the non-Muslim and also Muslim, you just key in what you want to key in. It's a template, guided template where you key in and then you pay less than 300 ringgit, you get a will already. Then you print it out, you get 2 persons to sign, and then voila, you have a will, and then you ask your executor. It's less than 300 ringgit. If you do it your own, you get an agent, not only the agent will pry on your asset, how many cars you have, how many houses you have, how much you have. So to a lot of people, you may want a space to do your will. So this is the best one. You do it online, and then you pay, you get 2 witnesses to sign, and then that's it.
Wow. That's interesting. So this is available on, you say there's a partner, website?
There's a founder, it's called Create Wheels. So
Create Wheels, okay.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful news, because I think it's important for a lot of us. We always take things for granted. Like my mother didn't even do one until she's 17.
Oh, you should do.
So we really all of us just delay all the way, and I think it's good that we have something like that as an option.
Yes.
So you're mentioning fintech. Oh yeah, so actually all along when I think of fintech, it's like, okay, it's always going to be like, peer-to-peer lending lah, some of these stock simulation sites like the Trade Hero lah, that type, I never thought of it as insurance or will. I think this actually, you're actually opening my mind to a huge possibility when it comes to fintech, and I think that's great. So these are all available in Malaysia for Malaysians lah.
Yes, it's all available. If any of you that I'm speaking to on Facebook, if you want this as a business, you can give me a call. We also do platform-to-platform enablement, where we have these platforms ready, digital insurance, digital wealth management. We can plug into your platform, and you can start your insurance business referral the next day. Mind you, in Malaysia, car insurance is about 50% of the total insurance space, is worth 8.5 billion ringgit per annum.
Right.
And each
so now everybody can be insurance agent.
If you have I would prefer to work with a platform. If you have a very big platform, you plug in that capability to you. That means in your platform.
So I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, it's a referral program where everybody who has the link can become sort of like an insurance agent.
Can be an insurance platform.
Well done. That's nice.
So that is very disruptive.
Okay, so there was a question earlier that we wanted to address. What is mobile payment, and what is the difference between mobile payment and normal payment? Because there's this big difference, right? And yes. Nobody truly understands what it means.
I think when it comes to digital payment, to me, is something which is non-physical, non-cash. Anything non-cash is digital.
Okay, digital is non-physical, non-cash. Okay.
I do not know whether credit card falls into that category. It depends when the terms is out. But I would categorize digital payment as non-cash. Mobile payment is if you make any payment on your mobile phone, I would categorize that as mobile payment. At least that's what I feel that it is. So mobile payment is a subset of digital payment. It's just that mobile payment can be made through your mobile phone.
Right. And digital payment is like, it doesn't have to be mobile app.
I think it's a bigger term. Mobile payment is part of digital payment. So to me, digital payment is something that doesn't deal with cash.
Okay. So if I'm a business and I'm starting, already I prepare my website already. Okay. Then when I sign up for iPay88 as a payment gateway, what am I getting? I'm getting the mobile payment or digital payment?
It depends whether you own a shop. If you own a shop, you can get payment terminals from us.
Terminals, okay.
That's terminal. If you have your URL, you get digital payments from us, because if you pay online, it may not be a mobile payment. It can be via credit card online. That's digital payment. It can be credit card online. That's digital payment as well. If you use e-wallet, then it's a mix of both, because the person paying you can be through a mobile phone. He's using mobile payment online.
Right.
He can pay you from a laptop, so that doesn't seem very mobile with a more. But if it is a laptop, then it's again very fuzzy definition.
Okay, can. Right. So what is the most important thing? Okay, as a business, I'm starting for the first time. What is the most important thing what's the criteria I need to think of? I know you mentioned about like getting a trustworthy company that won't like, today around, tomorrow, poof, disappear type. But like, what else should I look for? I mean, because when it comes to, even for myself personally, right, I mean, payment gateway was something like, I was like, oh, just get one, anything will do. Or let's just look at the rates, right? Who give me better rate, that's it. And of course, there's the trust element, but what else is it that I need to look at in terms of features that I want? What are the features that I should look for when I look for payment gateway?
Okay, besides the rates and being trustworthiness, you have to look at the offerings. Some payment gateways, we as Malaysian gateway, proud to be 100% homegrown. We know our turf well. We know what sort of payment option that makes sense to use. Some other gateways, international ones, may only focus on credit card. If you say, oh, I want to grow my business with just credit card, but then in Malaysia, 60-70% uses online banking. I give you credit card, you won't go anywhere. So you got to work with one with online banking, or now that you know that the e-wallets are growing, so you have to work with one that has all the e-wallet. Or next time, buy now, pay later, you know that they are working with this. So you work with one that look at the offering. And some companies are really very complex in terms of their payment solution. So you want to talk to one that knows how to help you. There are a lot of customization. So iPay, we have about 30 sales consultants. So we really one-to-one and tell you, if you have this option, go for this. If you have a second option, go for a second option. So it's not a matter of price. It's about people able to assist you on what tokenization we have. So that becomes a little bit consultative already. So it's not just a plug and play. A plug and play, anyone can do it. But what if you are a little bit complex, then you need a sales consultant to guide you. And also the support. Some gateways very hard to get support. You need to send them emails. You don't know who the salesperson are. At least now, right? If something happens to you, you will call me, hey, Johnny, something is wrong. I will pick up your phone. If you select one that is somewhere across the other side of the globe, how are you going to reach them?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, they've been very, very responsive whenever I call.
If they do not have PCI DSS compliant, then you look at the regulations, and sometimes if they move, at gray areas and bank negotiate said this, then they can't operate, and your business will stop if they can't operate. So these are the things that you should really consider. I think IP has the biggest force in terms of sales consultant, 30 to 40. That's a lot. So we are able to.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot, and we have support from entity data. They are transferring the technology to us as we speak. So we're always improving ourselves.
Okay, so Peggy from the floor has a question. She asked, can you share what is the percentage of Malaysian on e-wallet in comparison to online banking? Do you know the percentage of Malaysian on e-wallets?
I've been following e-wallet very closely. I would think right now it has gone beyond 7%, probably 8 or 9 already right now. Total people using e-wallet for online. So as for credit card, it used to be 70-30. Before the e-wallets, it was 30% credit card, 70% online banking. Now probably 7-8% will be e-wallets, probably 10 already as we speak, because it's getting more and more popular. So
so 10% is e-wallet, then 20%.
In some marketplaces, it can be even 50% or 40% through e-wallet. So if you ask me, the average could be about 10% now already. It's really gaining. As we speak, it grows every day.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. I hope that answers your question, Peggy. If you have any more questions, do feel free to ask. Okay, I have a question about the onboarding for payment gateway. what are the things that we need to prepare as a business if we want to get started on a payment gateway? And what is the process, what to expect? Okay. And what is the chance of me getting rejected, or, you know, why would I be rejected if at all?
First process, if you want a payment gateway, call me.
Okay, can that's the we will put your contact details later.
Give me a call. I can assist you and send you.
Can
and then my sales consultant come you. They probably ask for your business registration. They ask for your URL.
Right.
Some bank statements if you have. Then they'll submit, and then they'll look at your what we call NOB, nature of business. If you are a liquor business, then you got to have liquor license. If you are selling pharmacies or medicine, then you got to have licenses that allows you to sell that. But if you are into gambling, we probably won't take you. Or something which is like pornography, we probably reject you. So that's very straightforward. We are very risk adverse. We do not take in merchants when we feel that it gets us into trouble.
Okay.
Because
it's also a huge risk for you guys also lah.
Yeah, it's just too risky.
Because you're supporting so many businesses. You're not some small payment gateway.
Lose our job. You know, all the merchants with more than 17,000 will also active more than 70,000 online. We also cannot go through iPay. So we take it very seriously.
Right. Okay. So you as you mentioned earlier, it is look at the nature of business, and then also business registration. Right. And then after that, you guys will proceed to set up already?
Yes, we will set up. Then we will sign you up as an account, and with that account, we can assign you FPX first. There's online banking, and also
FPX.
Then later will be the credit card.
Okay, so for all that process, there will be like a consultant that will assist me with all of these things. Then what about the connection to my website?
Connection to your website?
Yeah, the connection of the whole thing to the website.
Okay. We'll probably make the collection for you first, and then settle you in an agreed period. So we are the gateway. We connect first, but that's just very face value. Actually, what goes behind is just very complex. There's Visa, there's Master, there's acquiring bank, there is issuing bank, there are e-wallets. So it's just a very cloud, very fuzzy network. That's our job. We collect from there, and then we pay you in an agreed period.
Right. Okay. Peggy has another question.
Yes,
Her question is, what is the possibility of total utilization of e-wallet? Do you think it's possible one day?
I don't think it's possible, because there's always a credit card. Unless you top up your credit card, everyone top up credit card to e-wallet, and then everyone use e-wallet. And there will be people who still prefer cash, because there are some people who cannot own bank account. If you cannot own bank account, who are these people? That it could be people who, if you don't own a bank account, sometimes they could be foreigners. They can be undocumented. So as long as they are society, then cash is always used. So, but then again, we should try to use cash as little as possible, because to print that cash is a lot of money. So for digital, I don't think it's possible for 100%, but 100% digital payment, that means you include your debit card, your credit card, maybe that is a possible journey to envision.
Right, okay. And her next question is actually, how long will it take us to reach a cashless society? What do you think?
Well, if MCO were to reach another few more years, then its possibility is very high. But
in fact, I think a lot of us are already, like my mother is using Touch and Go wallet. She's 75.
Yeah. I think for digital payment, it speaks to us in urban areas.
That's true, urban, yeah.
When you go to rural areas, it's a little bit different. There's the mindset needs to change a bit. But now you can see that a lot of people are using it. So as long as government, they're giving incentive, they give you incentive. They have given us incentive in e-wallets, isn't it? So that will drive the usage of e-wallet. In fact, when government start to give incentive in e-wallets, that's when a lot of people download their e-wallet. They have to. And then some marketplaces actually give you free delivery on e-wallets. That's why you start to use. So I think it will be a natural thing. It will be like China. A few years ago when we talk about, hey, you go to Pasar Malam, people accept e-wallet. It's something that wow, is that true? But now it's happening.
Right.
So cashless society is something that every nation dream of. Every central bank dream of.
My next question, I know it's a little bit far away, but I was thinking with cashless society and all this thing, where does Bitcoin fit into all this? Ooh. It's very far away, I know, but I just think like with the whole don't want to hold money, don't want to centralize, and everybody can protect themselves, zero fraud, and that comes Bitcoin, right? So where does the fintech players in Malaysia play this whole Bitcoin thing?
When it comes to Bitcoins, there's blockchain already. When it comes to payment, it's all relative to fiat currency,
Right.
You use credit
so we don't
card,
have any relation to that at the moment?
Whether you use e-wallets is relative to ringgit. One ringgit of, for example, credit card is same as 1 ringgit e-wallet or 1 ringgit cash or fiat currency. When it comes to Bitcoin, it's something that I don't also understand myself. You can mine Bitcoin at home. I don't know whether you get caught or whether it's legal, but you can't mine cash at home. So those are the things I don't. It's very speculative. Today is what 50,000 USD Bitcoin. Has gone off the charts. And
today is 52,000 USD.
Right.
Like 2 weeks ago, it's 40,000 USD.
It has gone up 80% year to date, and I think it's crazy.
December was 20,000 USD. So I'm almost thinking like I can't have a call with iPay without asking your view about it.
So for now, we are quite conservative. We do not accept Bitcoin as a payment option because it's loosely regulated. I don't know whether it's fully regulated or not. That's where we stay away for a while. But things may be different in the next 10 years, who knows?
But PayPal is accepting Bitcoin as a payment.
Well,
PayPal. But I guess US is very different now. They're very, very radical.
I think they see things differently. But I think maybe 5 to 10 years from now, maybe when the regulation starts to kick in and things are more regulated, then maybe it can be a credible payment option.
Okay, I want to ask you about the buy now, pay later. I think it's a very interesting topic because it's very, very new and I've been hearing a lot about this. Can I know where did it come about? Why are we doing this thing? Who and why did we start this buy now, pay later? Is it a concept from China or what?
I really do not know. I've never studied the origin of this. Maybe I should. It's a good topic to study. What I know is that it's probably popular for those who want to stretch their dollar. If you want to stretch your dollar, and if you want to, for example, you want to buy something you need now, but you earn on a daily wage, so you can repay something a few months later. Then these are very popular. So it's also very popular for those who don't own credit cards. If you don't own credit card,
so it's very micro transaction one lah. It's below 1,000 ringgit. Is there a threshold?
Very high credit limit to begin with, maybe a few hundred.
Okay. Few hundred lah. And is this like working with some e-wallet type thing or what?
Yeah, they can be, or they can stand alone. So I tend to believe it starts from China. I'm just not sure, but everything starts. Every fintech business tend to start from China nowadays, so I'm not sure.
Right. Okay. So the thing is, even when you buy on these e-commerce marketplaces, they already have this kind of like Maybank installment plan. How does this pay later compete with this installment plans to begin with, or it's just another option?
Okay, installment plans are long term. You can do 12 months, 6 months, some even 36 months. But to apply installment plan from a bank, not everyone can get it.
No, but if you buy on like Zalora, I think got immediate installment plan one, no meh? Like they don't.
Zalora probably also work with some. If you're a Zalora, then they do for you. But you as a merchant, an ABC merchant, when you apply for installment, you might not get it. But if you apply for buy now pay later, in future, you might get it easier. So while waiting for banks to give you installment, you could use buy now pay later first.
So as a merchant, buy now pay later is an easier format because the volume and the size is smaller.
Yeah, I have some merchants who wait years to get installment plan from the bank.
Years, okay. Years. So this buy now pay later format, so is it like a peer-to-peer thing at the backdrop, or is it like a bank, or like the company itself is funding the reserve of this, or what?
The company is probably funding it and they are bearing the risk.
Wow. Wow. Okay, very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, but they will still assess the merchants accordingly, lah.
Yeah,
they will still assess.
They will still assess. Most of the onboarding for buy now pay later, you will need to download the app and they will assess you. You will put on your debit card or credit card. They will assess you already. They'll probably have something behind it.
So they assess the merchant more than they assess the consumer who's going to use the facility?
Oh, they will assess the consumer because if it is the consumer don't pay, then they'll get into it.
Correct. So then why will the merchant take harder? Like the merchant will be harder to get this facility?
Merchant is easy to get. So that's why it's easier for a merchant to get compared to banks.
Right. Okay. Okay,
but you also want to KYC the merchant if they're selling, you know, whether the goods they're selling is legal or not. If it's legal,
right? Yeah. Okay. It's very interesting that you mentioned about the fact that not everybody can get a payment gateway. It's like, you know, you need to go and see the nature of the business and all that.
Yes,
which is why there is a whole new different topic for like all the social commerce people, you know, because then I guess you guys don't support the social commerce, or like you supply to a social commerce like enabler and then they supply to, how does that work?
Yeah, unless there is an aggregator of social commerce who give us indemnity.
Okay, so they bear the risk for you.
They bear the risk is something, you know, that also, I have my risk team that will justify. It's also very hard for us in business development to justify.
Okay, so Peggy is asking, buy now, pay later is like an installment plan with mobile using credit card. Is it the same concept?
Yes, it is. It can be debit card as well.
Mobile using credit card. Okay, debit card. Okay, can.
Basically, a buy now, pay later, you download the app, and download the app, you put in your credit, it binds with your credit card details and also debit card details. Then when you make payment, you go to the website, you have that option, you click that website, 100 ringgit thing, you can split it in maybe 3 or 4 installments.
So as a user, I download the app, I connect all my credit cards to this pay later app, and then whenever I want to make payment, I use this pay later.
Yeah.
It will optimize my credit.
Yes, what it does is that you give your credit limit. You give your credit limit, let's say 100 ringgit or 200 ringgit. So when you buy a 100 ringgit thing, the merchant will get their 100 ringgit minus some fee. But then you pay your credit card. If it's a 4 times installment, then every month it's 25 ringgit charged on your credit card or debit card.
So it's not 12 months, but it's like maybe shorter period, smaller amount.
That's the difference between what the banks are offering. It's usually won't stretch that long.
Okay, and it's auto debit from the credit cards that you link to the pay later account.
Yes, or debit card.
Oh, okay. Right, okay, this is very interesting. I'm going to go and download this app because I think,
probably the next.
Because the other day Grab got a pay later.
Yes,
pay later got a 10 ringgit with the Grab now. That's why I like saw the pay later. Then I'm like, how to use this? How do I get my 10 ringgit voucher? So yes, now I get it. Okay. I think these are probably all the questions that I have. Thank you so much, Peggy, for asking questions. I am not sure whether we have any questions from Facebook. Let me just check with my colleague. She hasn't said anything, so I assume maybe don't have.
Thanks,
but this
for your inquiries. If you have more, you can always reach me.
Can, no problem. I'm just going to put your details. You like email maybe on the inquiry. Like if anybody asks us, then we'll gladly pass on the contact to you. We'll keep the video live on our Facebook as well. So I think those people who miss now, they may watch later as well. So welcome for those of you who will be watching us later. This is probably the end of our session. So I don't have any more questions, and I don't think people. Oh, there are questions coming in. No. Oh, Peggy says thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I guess this will be the end of the session. Thank you guys so much for joining us. The video will be replayed on our Facebook. And thank you, Johnny. Thank you so much for your time. Edgar, thank you so much for helping us to organize this together with Putri. So thank you so much, guys. And we look forward to see you in the next webinar.
Yeah,
thank
before
you.
we sign off, Wen, I just want to mention one thing. There are 3 things that won't change in life. You know, one, unfortunately, is my age. It will forever go up. Second, you can't avoid paying taxes.
Okay.
The taxman will come after you. The third thing is...
and shouldn't as well.
Yeah, you shouldn't. The third thing is you cannot avoid digital disruption.
Absolutely. Actually, you know what? I agree with you, because I think we kind of like, a lot of people just gonna push into it, you know, during the MCO. Like, I think the MCO really helped, because my mother have to download the My Sejahtera app, and then suddenly she has to learn how to scan QR code, and then because she's able to scan QR code, she's able to do touch and go payment. You know,
so who taught me mobile banking? It was my father-in-law. He did his mobile banking before me. That was like probably 10 years ago. I don't believe my father-in-law.
So your father-in-law is very progressive.
Of course, now I'm probably the other side already. He's probably saying, "Oh, Johnny, what are you doing? I don't understand anything that you do."
Right. But I guess, you know, I guess there's always going to be people who are more early adopters, and then there's of course the laggards law. So in the case of your father-in-law, I think he's very early adopter, very innovative, like very somebody who wants to, you know, progress ahead of time, that kind.
He was using Maybank to you when I was still queuing up at Maybank, and he laughed at me. I
like your father-in-law. I think he's very progressive. Well, okay, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, Johnny.
Bye. Have a nice day.
All right, bye.